asking them to copy what we say, and instead becoming quiet and allowing the child to speak to us. And that is what story shaping is. It's a gentle, interactive way of allowing children to explore elements of story. Place, time, character, a question, because every story has some kind of question, and an idea. And once they've explored those elements of story, they then share that story to the teacher. The teacher is not making up the story. The teacher does not make up the story. The teacher is the story's shaper. So the children, even very young children, 3-year-olds even, up to 7 or 8-year-olds, they share their ideas, and then the teacher uses all her skills, or his skills, of knowledge of the world, vocabulary, knowledge of tenses, past tense, future tense, to structure those ideas into a story. Now you can imagine that for some teachers this could be quite difficult, because you have all these ideas coming from the children. So story shapes are a prompt and a prop that can help teachers to structure the children's ideas. So actually they are first and foremost a teacher's tool, but they can also be a toy, because I know that you will all know that learning through play is also very important, and I'm going to do a little bit more on that later. So I'd like to do an activity first. Why share stories? So could you please speak to the person next to you and talk about stories, maybe a story that you've recently told in your classroom. It could be anything, because we tell stories for lots of reasons, don't we?
Yes.
So talk to the person next to you about the last story that you told in your classroom, or the last story that you remember another teacher telling. Just a few minutes.
I know that was the last story. Thank you very much.
Okay. So we won't be able to talk to everyone, but perhaps one person could tell me a recent story. Let's have a think. So who can tell me a story? I saw you had something exciting to say.
Actually, I was telling her the last story I told the kids.
Okay, so what was it about? Why did you tell it?
I told them I was trying to drive a message home. Mm-hmm. Most kids don't know that God is everywhere. Mm-hmm. There's this little boy, every morning, mommy wakes him up, taking for morning mass. So for him, God is just in the chapel there. He doesn't know that God is everywhere. So when he was sick, he couldn't go to chapel. He felt very bad because he couldn't go to see God. Mm-hmm. So along the line, 12 midday, nobody was at home. Then God appeared. That is a story though, but it's to drive the message home. Yeah. So God came knocking. He opened and said, "Who are you?" He said, "You don't know me, but every morning you come to the church to look for me." The boy was like, "Wow, I thought you only stay in the church. Your residence is just there in the church." He said, "No, that is why I came, because you're so miserable. You've missed me all this while. I came to tell you that I'm everywhere. I'm in your bedroom. I'm even there when you're eating. I'm in the kitchen. I'm all over the place. That is why I am called God." You know, we did something, so I was just trying to explain. And that was the last story I told them last week.
Okay, that was lovely. So you used your story to give children knowledge. So you recognise that by doing that, that's going to really, the children will then remember.
Yes,
whereas
whatever they're doing, God is seeing them. Even if they're hiding on anywhere, in darkness, He sees everything. Yes. So that's why He's omnipresent, is right. It will right under your nose.
Wonderful. So that's very, and I'm sure the children remembered that story, and they related to it because it was about a boy and not some story about an adult.
Yes.
So you used it to shape knowledge. Did anyone use a story in a different way?